What's tea, sugar? You are now listening to the Cosmic Drag Podcast with Reshena, the homegirl healer, your source for the trillest cosmic life coaching and encouragement for Black women straight from the universe. Get ready for some real spilling and real healing.
Hey, homegirls. It's your girl, Reshena, the homegirl healer. And this is the Cosmic Drag, honey. We finna pull these cards and let the universe drag us for filth and for healing at the same damn time. So you better secure the couple of little edges you got left, child, before they get cosmically snatched, and let's get into it. So welcome everybody again to the Cosmic Drag Podcast. I am so excited to be sharing virtual space with you, child. I'm so excited to get into this new read from the universe today, honey. So without further ado, let's just get to the business that we came to get to, honey. Okay, so today's deck that we're going to be using is one of my absolute favorites, the Hoodoo Tarot deck by Tayannah Lee McQuillar. Yes, Black Girl Magic. Okay, Black Girl Magic coming through with the healing drip, and I love it. I just love this deck so much because every time I use it, I learn something. I have to do research to learn more about the different people and characters and entities that are being referenced on the card. So I just love this deck. So before we dive into the cosmic read, honey, let me just kind of break down real quick what the suits mean, because the suits are identified a bit differently than they would be in a traditional Rider-Waite tarot. So in this deck, coins is pentacles, knives are swords, baskets are cups, and sticks are wands. Obviously, the term I said first is what they refer to in this deck, and the second term is how they are referred to in the Rider-Waite deck. So y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get these cards pulled and see what the universe got for us, child. Okay? Let's get into it. I love this deck. And it's a great size deck. It also feels great in the hands. So, yes, one of my favorites, honey. You're going to see this deck being used on a lot of episodes, child. So, all right, let's pull these cards and see what's popping. Okay, so we have the first card, the 10 of Knives. Okay, this is very interesting. Okay, let's see. Card number 2, 9 of Baskets. Okay, and card 3, 7 of Sticks. Okay, how interesting. So let's go ahead and really dive into this cosmic read. So the first card we got popping is 10 of Knives. So the imagery on this card is actually, it looks to be like a church or some kind of temple. And there is a man laying down at the doorstep because somebody done stabbed him in his back, and there are 10 knives in his back. And so the story on this card actually depicts the story of a root worker named George Webster, who was, in addition to doing his root work, the leader of the Negro Temple of Divine Healing, or Divine Temple of Healing in Memphis, Tennessee. The name is depending on the source that you get the information from. But anyway, child, so what happened what's tea is that George was killed by 2 people named Johnny Lee Tolliver and Gracie Lee Tolliver. And they were actually the son and the daughter of one of the people who came to see him, one of his clients. And they killed him because they believed that he actually hexed their mother, which led to the cause of her death. And the defense that they had was that the Lord told them to take this man out, child, and they were convicted of this act, and they were sent to an insane asylum in Nashville. And so the good thing about this card, because I know that is some wild imagery, child, that is a very wild story, honey. I know it's definitely a wear out, but the good thing about this card is that it's in an upright position. It's in a positive position. So that is letting us know that, honey, the worst is over. All the daggers that could be thrown have been thrown, child. Okay, so the smoke is clearing out. Make no mistake, like, it's still some smoke there because it's still being cleared out, but the worst is over. So we can start to pull the knives out of our back and begin our healing process, begin to heal those wounds. And even though we are moving forward and we not letting the past keep us hostage, child, because we ain't got time, it's very important for us to remember to not forget what happened and to never forget to protect our necks, okay, as we traverse this crazy ass world. All right. So that is the 10 of knives, child. Let's get into this 9 of baskets. So this card, what you see on this card is several different baskets, and each of the baskets are filled with some kind of awesome content. So there is wine, child, and I love me some wine, honey. There are books, which also, again, love books. There are jewels. There is money. There are sunflowers. There's even an alligator head, and I believe that that's either good luck, protection, or both, honey. But you can't go wrong having all that, especially when apparently the abundance drip is very strong with this card. So anyway, there's also bread, a rabbit's foot. So, also that is for luck. So all of the things that are the desires of our heart are sitting at this table. This card is giving bounty, honey, and it's giving all the desires of our heart. And all of these things that we want are positioned right in front of us. And so this is the abundance that we have been able to harvest, in the aftermath of the difficulties that we've had to endure in our life. Okay, so we done worked hard, we done been through, child, we done been run down and wore out, and this card is letting us know that, okay, those knives that got put in our back, we've been taking them out and healing ourselves, honey. The work that we're doing to put ourselves in the best position, the outcome of it is this harvest, this bounty that we see ahead of us with this 9 of baskets, child. Okay, and so I want to make sure, even though, yes, we love this abundance and we love this bounty, it's important to remember that sometimes there are parts of our bounty that's on the table now that will no longer belong on our table, and they have to be removed, and that's okay. But there are other times that our harvest will multiply, and it will contain amazing blessings, child. Both expected blessings that we knew was coming because we know what work we've been putting in, but also unexpected blessings that we had no idea that we were working and preparing for, honey. Okay, that is just the ebb and the flow of how things go. And so the key here is to value what you have, because when you don't value what you have, the value of your bounty will diminish to the point that it's going to disappear, child. It's gone. It's ghost. It's Casper. It's nowhere to be found. So don't waste your blessings because you can't see what you actually have ahead of you. Okay. So shout out to the 9 of baskets, making sure that we getting our damn mind right and appreciating what we got popping. Okay. All right. So the third card is the 7 of sticks. And so this card depicts there's a man where his head is an alligator's head, but a human body. And there are 7 sticks, of course, pointing at him, but he has a stick in his hand, a staff in his hand, and he is ready to protect and to defend himself. He ain't never scared, honey. Okay. He is not playing around, and he is not to be played with. So this card actually depicts Uncle Monday, who was a very powerful, witch doctor, hoodoo doctor, medicine man that basically was able to turn into an alligator. So as it pertains to this story, there are slight variations to the story depending on the source. And so one of the most well-known sources of information about Uncle Monday is Zora Neale Hurston, and she wrote about him in her 1934 short story titled Uncle Monday, child. Make sure you get into it. It's a very, very, very interesting story. I enjoyed learning about this and researching this so much. So if you can get into Zora Neale Hurston's story, honey, get the tea from her, baby, because this is her area. This took place, and she's from Eatonville, Florida. This took place in Florida, so she know what's tea. So get into that short story, honey. Okay. All right. So basically, it was said that Uncle Monday was captured and brought to South Carolina from Africa as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. So the thing that we need to know about Uncle Monday is that he was not one to be held down. Okay. He is not with it. So he escaped and he made his way to the Seminole community in Florida. So basically, he was welcomed in by the natives of that area. And so, basically game recognized game, honey. So they were out here sharing their wisdom and their knowledge with one another. So forging a really great relationship between Uncle Monday and the natives in the Seminole community in Florida. So Uncle Monday decided that, child, he was not going to play himself no more. He had enough, and he would never allow himself to be enslaved by white people again. So he basically, with the assistance and or support of the Seminole natives, depending on the source that you see, it might be a little different what happened here. But the point of it is that they were able to complete a ritual that allowed Uncle Monday to be able to shapeshift into an alligator at will. And so it's said that to this day, he still dwells in the swamps of Florida, honey, in alligator form. And on occasion, he will shift into human form and he'll walk among the people in the area, and it can be really good for you or it could be really bad for you. So definitely watch yourself, okay? And definitely don't play yourself and don't play Uncle Monday. Like, if you, depending on the source that you get, again, there's a woman either named Aunt Judy Bickerstaff or Old Judy Bronson, like I said, depending on the source. And don't play yourself like her. And if you want to know exactly how she played herself when it came to Uncle Monday, it is a very, very, very interesting folktale. So definitely do your research and learn more about that part of the story. Like I said, Zora Neale Hurston's short story, Uncle Monday, gets into the tea, honey. So yes, what an awesome and interesting and amazing group of cards that we bought here with some really, really interesting stories and some things that I really felt moved by as I learned more about, especially Uncle Monday. But let's get into it. So when I was actually preparing to do this episode, every time I do an episode, I always take a moment to breathe and to connect and tap in the spirit and find out what is the message that I'm supposed to bring forward in this episode. And so I asked Spirit this particular time, what is the message that melanated people across the world, honey, need to hear at this point in time? And so I was so blown away when I realized that all of the cards that we pulled this time are all minor arcana cards. And so that's all about the more mundane, everyday aspects of life. And so the reason why this is so important is because the message that everybody needs to hear, the message that is meant to come through this episode, is really all about the ways that we need to shift on a personal level, like how we moving and maneuvering in our everyday lives, child. This is what this reading is giving, and this is what that message is giving, okay? Because this is not about the Tower card moment or the Death card moment, child, or the Devil card moment. Those are, obviously the major arcana, so those are the big moments. But the thing about big moments in life is that they are made possible by all of the little moments, all of the everyday mundane things that converge together and form the big moments when we get those kind of cards, okay? So this is about you tapping the fuck in and getting to what you need to get to on a personal level to help you in your elevation, okay? And your exaltation, all right? So I want you to really, really, really tap into one particular part of the Uncle Monday story. Uncle Monday said that he would never allow himself to be enslaved by white folks again. And I think that that is such an important topic to kind of dive into, because we always think that when we talk about slavery, we think it's clink, clink chains. And we don't understand that slavery these days has nothing to do with those chains, but a lot of it is mental. It's about our mentality. Okay, we allow our mentality to keep us enslaved in so many ways. And I realize that some of y'all missed the memo about that, or you might know somebody who missed the memo about that. You know what I mean? Some of us are really scared to fight for our freedom because we are scared of the discomfort that comes with having to fight for your freedom. And so the message that I got for this episode is to wake your ass up. And I'm not talking about just the social justice warrior woke. I'm talking about awakening your conscious and raising your vibration, okay? Vibe higher. Be a lighter light. Be a lighter person. So we have a lot of work to do to unpack that. And part of that is really unpacking this really warped mindset that a lot of us have that is keeping us separated from our divine, amazing, cosmic, melanated, carbonated human selves, okay? So, like I said, there is a more mundane message here about just how we're living our lives, how we're moving forward as people, how we're helping ourselves to be better. But I think as we get deeper into the more mundane, I want you to ask yourself, how are you living your daily life? Is it in alignment with your goals and with your desires? Are you honoring your divinely assigned purpose? Is the life that you're living, is it meeting your needs on a physical level? Is it meeting your needs on a cosmic level? And when I'm saying a cosmic level, I'm talking about awakening the God/goddess in you. I'm talking about the level of you who is in touch with your higher self, in touch with your purpose. You're living a life that is filled with pleasure and with joy and with happiness and forward motion. You are living the life that literally is designed perfectly for you, that fits perfectly for you because it's made by you. So that is what we're talking about when we're asking if you're living your most cosmic life. Okay. And so are you actively healing the wounds from the knives that some of our life experiences plunged into our back? They plunged into our back, but they couldn't take us out. So are you healing from those wounds? Is the bounty on the table in front of you filled with the things that you desire? Do you actually value what is before you in this bounty? Do you value the gifts? Do we value the gifts within the Black community that our community desperately needs us to remember, that we need to wake up and remember? It's time for us to remember who we are, okay? Because you, me, we are powerful. You are powerful. You are chosen. You shift the atmosphere, honey, because you are uncheckable. You are unstoppable. You are the ultimate overcomer. Because there is what? Nothing you can't do. And there is what? Nothing you can't heal from. Because why? You are abundance in human form. You are blessed. And you are free. Period, sis. So let's start living like it. Let's start acting like it. Let's start doing and moving and maneuvering like it. Okay? All right. So we are coming to the end of this episode, and you know what that means. It's time to get into the cosmic drip. And I hope today's cosmic drip is one that will fill up your cup, that will make you just feel so good and so free, let you kind of move and let you float like air, okay? So let's get into it. I am unchained, untethered, and free. I am unchained, untethered, and free. I am unchained, untethered, and free. Yes, Cosmic Drip. So, before we get out of here, y'all, first of all, thank you for kicking it with your girl. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope that you will start to join me on Thursdays for Trill Spill Thursdays, child. I go live every Thursday, 8:30 or 9 p.m., but usually 8:30, but we might be moving it to 9. We'll see. But anyway, I go live on IG. I go live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. So make sure you follow me on one or all of those platforms so you can get the tea and we can kick it on Thursdays, child, and talk some Trill Spill, some real shit, okay? So come kick it with your girl. Also, if you're not already following me on TikTok, make sure you do so I can get to 1,000 followers and go live there too, honey. I can't wait to spread this live healing drip everywhere possible, okay? So also, Reiki classes are on deck. I am teaching Reiki classes virtually. Hopefully, we'll be moving to in-person at some point in the next several months, but we're getting back there. But in the meantime and in between time, come on and catch this healing drip, because in person or remote, your girl's healing drip is just as strong and just as amazing. And we're going to send you out into the world, an amazing Reiki practitioner, an amazing Reiki master teacher, whichever level you come in. I got you, girl. Okay, so come through. Also, follow me everywhere. Follow me on all of the social media channels that you possibly can. Instagram, The Homegirl Healer. YouTube, The Homegirl Healer. TikTok, The Homegirl Healer. Twitter, Homegirl Healer. And Facebook, The Homegirl Healer. And don't forget, child, send me links to tarot and oracle decks made by Black readers and artists. If it's a positive, energetic match with me in the deck, child, I'm copping it and I'm bringing it live to you here. So with that, I'm sending you all my love. I'm sending you all my light. I'm out of here. Peace, y'all. Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Cosmic Drag with the Homegirl Healer. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode, and connect with the Homegirl Healer on social media so you always know what time it is. Kick It with Reshena at The Homegirl Healer on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And share this podcast with anyone you know who could use a good dragging from the universe.